So, all of the Terminator movies that I just reviewed now all leads up to this. So, is Terminator Dark Fate the best Terminator since Terminator 2 like everyone said it is? Or Terminator Dark Fate is a train wreck like everyone said it is? Well, let's find out! Terminator Dark Fate. So, Terminator Dark Fate is the 6th installment in the Terminator series. This movie is directed by Tim Miller, who did Deadpool, and also it is produced by James Cameron, who basically directed these two masterpieces right there. And this movie stars a returning cast of Linda Hamilton returning as Sarah Connor, but also Arnold Schwarzenegger as the T-800, but also we got Mackenzie Davis, Natalia Reyes, and Gabriel Luna. So basically this movie is about this half-human, half-cyborg named Grace, played by Mackenzie Davis. She went back in time from the future to protect this woman, played by Natalia Reyes, and alongside with Sarah Connor, played by Linda Hamilton, and T-800, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, to try and protect this woman from getting killed by the new advanced liquid Terminator. I just gotta say, the first two Terminator movies are the movies that really changes the science fiction films today. And sadly, they're always going to be the only great movies in the franchise, because since after Terminator 2, the movies had gone to a train wreck. We got Terminator 3, meh. Terminator Salvation, good potential, but meh. Terminator Genisys, train wreck. So, at first I was nervous they're going to make a new Terminator movie, because I feel like, why is this even a franchise? Like, honestly. Until I found out some interesting people who are making this film. First, Tim Miller directing this film. He directed Deadpool. Awesome. James Cameron returning. He directed Terminator 1 and 2. Fantastic. But also, we got not just Arnold Schwarzenegger returning, but also Linda Hamilton returning as Sarah Connor, one of the biggest badasses in movie history. Hell yeah. But also, the timeline. They said this is forgetting about the other shitty Terminator movies. This movie is just going straight forward after Terminator 2. Fantastic. So I got kind of excited. Until the first trailer came out, and I'm literally like, bleh. And then the second trailer came out, and then I'm starting to get excited for this new Terminator movie. And of course, controversy! Yay! Some people said this is the best Terminator movie since Terminator 2, and some people said it's a train wreck. This year is all full of controversy. Actually, to me, this is probably the worst movie year I've ever seen, because literally, most blockbusters that came out this year are all controversy. Even some big ones that came out. It's like, everything has to be all controversial. And I'm gonna say proudly, Terminator Dark Fate is definitely the best Terminator since Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but at the same time, it's not really saying much. But what do I really think of Terminator Dark Fate? Well, let's find out. First, let's talk about what I love about Terminator Dark Fate. First, the cast. Everyone does a phenomenal job in this film. Let's start talking about what everyone's been waiting for. Linda Hamilton returning as Sarah Connor. The thing I really anticipate for this movie, and I gotta say, Linda Hamilton has still freaking got it. She still plays the Sarah Connor that we've known and loved from the previous Terminator movies, and she is still fantastic in film. She's still a freaking badass that we've known from the first two movies. So thank God she still feels like Sarah Connor, and Linda Hamilton was fantastic in the film. And of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, do I really need to say much? He's still great as the T-800. I just don't feel like I need to say much, because Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. We can't have Terminator without Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, he's in this movie too. But I think the thing that really stood out for this movie is Mackenzie Davis as Grace. She's an advanced cyborg / human, which is a very interesting attempt at a Terminator movie, because we never got a Terminator that is actually a human, which is very, very interesting, because, you know, Terminators don't show emotions. She does, because she's a human, which I like that aspect, but also, she's a freaking badass in this film. A lot of moments I was like, damn girl, you can freaking kick ass. And Mackenzie Davis, I like this actress, and she was fantastic in this film. Also, Natalia Reyes as the main girl in this movie, I thought she was good, but I don't feel like she is the main character in the movie. I feel like she's a side character, and that's disappointing, because I felt like, you know what, she should have been the main character of this film, because that's what basically the plot of this movie. It's about her, but she just felt like a side character from a video game that we're not going to give a shit about. But still, Natalia Reyes still did a great job, and I would say she's pretty attractive. But I gotta say, surprisingly, Gabriel Luna in the film was a good villain. He's actually really cool in this film. He's basically kind of like the T-1000. He's a medically Liquid Terminator, but also he can like clone himself with another machine to basically fight, and that's interesting. Two Terminators in one body, that's a very interesting concept, and a very frightening concept too for a villain. So really good Terminator villain. Also, the action in this movie. I know Tim Miller is going to direct the action well, because he directed the action so well in Deadpool. This movie, action in this movie was fantastic. It was entertaining, it was a lot of fun, and much more memorable than the other shitty Terminator movies, because the action of this movie is entertaining enough to make this movie very entertaining as a movie in general. But I gotta say, also, the most impressive part about Terminator Dark Fate is the visuals. For the most part, the visuals are impressive. There are parts in this film I'm like, how the hell they did that for that visual effect? Oh my god, and you probably know what I'm going to be talking about. And I just gotta say, the visuals are amazing in this film, and I'm gonna give props to the visuals of this movie. And the score, of course, the Terminator theme. But they also did something different with the theme as well, which I kinda did like. But is Terminator Dark Fate perfect? Absolutely not. This is still a movie that's a little bit disappointing in the franchise, but I would say this is probably the better and the most enjoyable Terminator since number 2. But this film has a lot of issues. First of all, the story of this movie. It just follows the exact same story as the first 2 movies. You know, a cybernetic organism comes from the future to kill somebody, and then also another thing from the future that comes and protects it. It's literally the exact same concept from the first 2 movies. Actually, what my dad said when he went out of this movie, because I watched this with my dad, he said, can they create something original? Like, literally, they just probably made this movie for money, because, you know, it's a Terminator movie, it's a big franchise, so they have to do it for money, and then they're doing a new Matrix, and I keep thinking to myself, come on, do something completely original. I could completely agree with my dad. There's not much originality anymore. Most movies are just sequels or reboots from popular movies. Like, maybe not all of it, but that's for the most part. But I gotta say, not just the story is just the exact same story. There are so many aspects of Terminator Dark Fate that did not make sense. I was literally like, wait, what? Wait, what? Like, what the hell is going on in this movie? Also, to me, I think to myself, why is Linda and Arnold in this movie? They're probably in this movie because, you know, it's Terminator, and they're trying to make some excuse to bring him in this movie, but it just felt like, oh, okay, we'll come along on this adventure and journey, because most of this movie is all about Grace and that girl in the movie, and Linda Hamilton and Terminator just, like, coming along, you know, like, I'll come with you, because I'm Arnold, I have to be in this movie, because I'm the Terminator. Maybe I need to see this movie again to get why, but to me, from the first viewing of this movie, that's what I felt like. I felt like they're just in this movie because, you know, they're Terminator characters, and you can't do Terminator without them, which I'm still happy with because they're both really great in this film. But also, there are some visual aspects of Terminator Dark Fate. Even though the visual effects for the most part are fantastic, there are some CGI in the movie that are completely noticeable, especially when you see Rev 9 going into action. There are some noticeable CGI that looks very digital. It looks very digital CGI at the same time. But also, this movie is like 2 hours and 12 minutes long, and they could have cut out like 20 minutes of the film because there are so many unnecessary scenes that didn't need to be in this movie at all. I'm surprised this movie wasn't boring like the other Terminator movies. At least this movie was still entertaining. But there's also scenes in the movie that I'm just like, how the freaking hell they survived that and all that stuff. There's a lot of movies that do that. Like, there's like scenes where cars jump off a cliff and like the characters survive without any scratch. I'm like, that is definitely fictional. But guys, overall, is Terminator Dark Fate bad? No, it's not a bad movie at all. Just because I said there's flaws, it does not mean that I enjoyed Terminator Dark Fate, because I did enjoy Terminator Dark Fate. I would agree with everyone. This is the best Terminator movie since T2 Judgment Day. But at the same time, this movie was still a letdown a bit. It could have been so much better with its storyline and development, but still, I would buy this movie because I still think this is a good Terminator movie on its own. I think this is a mind-blowing, fun, visual effects action masterpiece, I reckon. This is a really fun, action-packed movie with great cast. The cast is fantastic in it. And it's definitely the most memorable out of the shitty movies. Like, if I'm tied up and some guy told me, you have to watch a Terminator movie, but that's not Terminator 1 and 2, I would say Terminator Dark Fate, because I still enjoyed this movie. I'm going to give Terminator Dark Fate a B-. Oh, I forgot to mention before I end this video, there are some WTF moments in this film as well that I didn't mention the flaws. Yes, you probably know what I'm going to be talking about. Just one little thing, but I'm not going to spoil it. You have to see this movie and you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, have you guys seen Terminator Dark Fate? What do you think of this movie? Let me know in the comments below if you like the movie, hate the movie, or thought it's a train wreck, or it's the best Terminator since Terminator 2. Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and notify for my latest reviews. And have a nice day.